What's up,
fam?
Thank you for tuning in to B.Y.O.B, where we believe the Bible is basic instruction before leaving Earth, and our job is to bridge the gap between the believer and the Bible. Listen, make sure you like this video, share this video, go tell somebody B.Y.O.B is live, lit, and local.
Come on now. Come on.
I feel like Nikki. That's what it is. It's on me. They're going in today.
Welcome back to another episode of B.Y.O.B. I cannot believe that this season or this year is almost up. Like,
who you telling?
It has gone by so
quick,
fast, or quick.
Time gone, y'all.
But y'all know we've been talking this month about kingdom over everything and what total surrender looks like, and how we should surrender our will to his will so that ultimately life will be better. Like, think about it. If we say this a lot, hindsight 2020, if I knew then what I know now, we say things like that, but like we're like literally giving a cheat code to life here. Total surrender, that's our cheat code. But I think the difficult task is, how do I totally surrender?
How do I actually do it?
I mean, because our perception of what that looks like is sometimes distorted by life, people, familiarity, religious cliches and doctrines and practices. So we just want to drop some nuggets with you guys, leave some biblical principles and practical applications that we have used. We want to use these biblical based stories to motivate you so that you can surrender your will to his. Totally surrender your will to his.
That's good. And I always say this too: don't judge the father based off negative behavior of his kids. Sometimes the bad behavior of the father kids can make you doubt the father. And what I mean that we say stuff like church hurt, or a pastor said this, or a deacon did this. Don't let the bad behavior of somebody that's a child make you judge the father. And what I mean by that, he want a real relationship with you. And so when Lady M talking about totally surrendering to him, sometimes we let those things hinder us for really submitting. And then when you talk about surrendering, or you talking about being totally committed, that's part of you surrendering and submitting to his will. And that's what we got to work on. I know that's what we're about to unpack. Because, you know, I take off. It's the coffee running through me, so I take off and run.
Yeah, he be ready to go. So the first week, we used Solomon to show us what it looks like to just begin with the total surrender. When Solomon transitioned into being the king, he was like, oh, you know, Lord, I need your wisdom and knowledge on how to lead these people. So that's the first thing. You need to acknowledge him and invite him in to lead you and guide you. And that's really it in a nutshell. Invite him in, welcome him in, and ask for his wisdom, his leadership, his knowledge, his understanding, so that it can help you do what you have been called to do, or whatever your hands are doing. Then we left from Solomon and we went to Mary and Martha. I don't know why we want to say Martha, because like I hear it that way,
like,
but it's
bunch.
Martha.
It's the Brady Bunch.
So Mary and Martha, they taught us that, you do have to work, right? There's going to be some work that needs to be done.
Both.
You literally got to go to your job for real. But more important than the actual work itself is the worship. It's the sitting at Jesus' feet and getting everything he's putting down, picking up everything he's putting down, getting all the knowledge, right? And can we literally go sit at the feet of Jesus like Mary did? Well, he's not physically here anymore, right? But you can go and get into his word. You can, something you do that I admire, you digest a sermon like every day. You're listening to a sermon, you're listening to some motivational speaker, you're doing something to edify your spirit. And that's what Mary was doing. She was edifying her spirit. She was feeding her spirit, feeding her soul. From like, I'm sitting at his feet and I'm just getting all of this.
I ain't letting
like getting fat in the spirit. Give me all you got, Jesus. Like, what an honor and a privilege it was to actually be there physically with him. But since we can't do it that way until the day we can, how about We just seek his face,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Set that atmosphere. And what
Mm-hmm.
do they do that? A lot of people out here crazy Texas driving. Sure, you got plenty of time in that vehicle. When you set the atmosphere,
Because when
make
I
sure
was
they
in
work.
traffic for 3 hours,
Yeah.
woo, bless his name.
Shout out to my coworker too. She told me
Oh
last
my
night,
God.
listen, that stuff y'all was doing at church. I see you speaking to people live or you doing something talking to them. Can you do that for me right now? I like,
Oh, she
hey,
wants you to prophesy.
right now, just on the spot. I
Like,
said
sprinkle
that
some
we doing that,
Jesus
we'll be
glitter.
looking for them numbers, man. We doing it. But I was saying that because it made sense what you just said. It's building an altar where you at. I like
Mm-hmm.
that happened because worship that went forth. That happened because people that hunger and thirst after righteousness, he said he gonna fill them. That's coming through that. That's not an individual.
That's him meeting the
Right.
expectation of the
And
people
somebody say, well, that only
and just
happen in
use
church because
you.
most of the time that's where you build your altar. But
Yeah.
it's that same thing, like I told them, it's really
Well,
not
say that again. Help
it's
the
not the
people.
church, because
Help
you are the
us.
church. This is the place we came together because it's just a building. Anything can go on in this building.
Mm-hmm.
So when we choose to come together and worship, we're setting the atmosphere. That's why he said he inhabits the praise of the people, which means not blessing goes up, blessing come down.
Praise
It
go up,
said
blessing come
praises
down.
go up, blessing come down. That ain't it either. When praises go up, the blesser come down.
Mm.
Not blessing. He ain't sitting there. He come. It said he inhabited. I mean, he come in where you at. And they don't have nothing to do with no building, no chapel, no steeple. They have everything to do when you choose to build an altar and put the atmosphere that way he can come in. Because he's saying, I ain't going to come in until you clean this up. I ain't going to come in this until you show me you ready for me to come into the environment. Because I can't just come anywhere. I got to make sure it's tailor-made for what it is that I'm bringing. Because he never come empty-handed. So
Man,
that's what,
good.
yeah. So I feel like as believers, that's what you're teaching us when you're telling us total surrender. They could be in your car. I mean, one time I'm on 20. I gotta pull over. Like this ain't safe. Don't do me like this. Don't do me like you trying to take me to glory. I just want to worship. I ain't trying to go to glory right now. But it was because that it got so serious and
it got so intense.
And like you speaking to me and saying stuff to me that nobody else knows. So I noticed you. You know what I'm saying? So this ain't no doubt. And it's piercing me so hard to ain't no more driving. I gotta pull over to the side of the road. And my dad said, step out and have a conversation. Like, but pulling over, because that moment, like I just gotta get through this moment. It'd be heavy like that if you said the atmosphere. Like I told somebody, God, because you can't even articulate what he just said. God tell you something. You can know what he told you, and my daddy said like this, but you can't audibly articulate what he said.
It'd be hard
but you know it's him.
It's hard to put in words.
And you trying to share with somebody, but what he said, it's real. You just because you can't even, yeah. But that's you getting in the presence of God, and I say I hate it for most people, because they assume that's just for preachers and missionaries and leaders in church. No, call all of us priests, and then the fact is, as a believer, I got rights and access to all this. I always been that person. If you say all that's available, why would I let somebody take that away from me?
Yeah.
You tell me all this stuff in these 66 books, I got access to it with all them keys. But then you tell me, nah, none of that. No, we don't do the speaking in tongues, though. We don't do the laying on hands. It's in there. Hey, if it's in there, I'm gonna try it. What my son, what Trey was just talking about this morning, recipes, what you say, if you can read, son,
if you
can
read,
cook anything.
You can cook.
That's the same thing spiritually. If you can read in them 66 books, you can cook, baby. You can cook.
Hey, let me cook.
Let me cook. Yeah. For real.
I think we're starting to sound like the old people trying to sound young.
No? That's fresh. That's
okay.
Fresh when we just
let me know if we doing too much.
Hey, drop it in the comments. Drop it in the comments.
This week, though, we have the best story.
Come on now.
Like, seriously. So this week, we're going to talk about the power of surrender, right?
Yeah.
Because we want to totally surrender. And maybe we should have started with telling you why, but I feel like it just kind of lined up right. Like, not even intentionally, right? But I learned how to invite him in. Then I learned that I just need to sit at his feet and just get all of this, worship, commune with him. But let's talk about the power of that surrender. When we surrender our will to his will and say, listen, you know what? Okay, kingdom over everything. What does that look like, God?
Yeah.
What plan have you created for me so that I can bring glory and honor to the kingdom? So let's see what that looks like. So trusting God, this is what I want to tell you, because this is what we're diving into. When we're talking about the power of surrender, we don't surrender anything to anyone that we don't trust. And I'm not talking about like if you foreclose on a house or a car and then you have to surrender those things.
That's a different
you
type.
got to give it to
That's
them,
a
right?
different type
Not
of surrender.
that type of surrender.
You ain't got to,
I'm
but they
talking
gonna
about,
give
you know, when you do those trust falls. I have never participated in a trust fall because I'm not gonna do that.
You don't trust me?
But well, you're different. I'm talking about like you at work and you do like trust falls where you have to trust somebody to catch you. And it's not that I don't trust that they would catch me. I may not trust that they could hold my weight, right? For whatever reason, there's some doubt there, right?
Safety first.
Safety first, always. The older you get, the longer it takes to heal. You hear what I'm saying? So I ain't trying to get hurt.
Stop saying that.
Anywho, when we totally trust God, it's easier to surrender, right? When we don't trust him and we're leaning and depending on ourselves and we're still promoting our will, our needs, our wants, our desires, then it's hard to trust because, well, I know this. I know what I'm capable of. So I trust in what I can do for myself. And we fail to trust in him. And when we don't trust in him, it's hard to submit to him, right? So I want to tell you that trusting God, trusting God or surrendering to God is going to cost us something. And I want to talk about Jesus. Ooh, Jesus.
Let him out.
Jesus wrestled with this when he was in the Garden of Gethsemane. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Because before the cross, before the resurrection, before the salvation of the world, there was a garden, right? And in this garden, Jesus faced the reality of pain,
agony.
He faced the reality of pressure, agony, as you would say. He faced the reality of fear, of loneliness, obedience, and a choice. And I remember when you said agony, it popped in because you're talking about the agony of the anointing. You're talking about how Jesus was like, if this cup could pass me by.
What's in the cup?
Just like, Lord. But even with that same breath, he said, but not my will. But yours. Right? Do you know how much pressure, how much pain, how much fear? Because this is all happening before he is betrayed, right, by Judas and have to go get arrested and do the cross and all of that, right? He knows what is about to come. He knows the weight of it. He knows the pressure of it. So he out there pleading with his daddy, like, if you could just take this cup from me, right? But in the same breath, you still surrender your will to him because he says, I'm gonna find the scripture. I didn't type it up somewhere. I don't know what's it. But he says in the same breath, not my will, but yours. That is the epitome of surrendering, total surrender. Because I know death is coming.
Against your own will.
I know without a shadow of a doubt that it's coming. I know that I'm going to be betrayed. I know the weight of this job that I have. Like, I'm about to carry the weight and the sins of the world. Like, I've done nothing wrong. I'm about to go through all of this for some people who some gonna love me, some not, some gonna acknowledge me, some not, some gonna come back with me when we part the sky and we come back and get them and stuff, some not. And I still got to do this knowing everybody ain't coming. Everybody not gonna believe. Everybody's not gonna worship. I still got to do it. Well, Lord, but it's not my will. It's your will be done, regardless of how I feel, regardless of the pain, the pressure, the agony, the fear, the loneliness, because that's a burden no human in life will ever understand. We try to articulate, especially when it comes to Communion Sunday and Easter and all of that. We try to articulate it, but none of us will ever understand the cost. None of us will ever understand or know what that pressure or that burden feels like And then in the midst of it, while I'm in it, not when I'm out of it and I say hindsight 2020, but while I'm in it, I'm in the midst of the pain. I'm in the midst of the fear. I'm in the midst of the loneliness and the pressure and all of these things. The knowing something sometimes can be like torture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But while he's in it, he's still thinking of us, people who didn't even exist at the moment, because he's thinking about the weight of what he has to do and what it means for future generations, right? And to still say, not my will, but yours. He pushed through. He persevered.
He on assignment.
Yeah, he definitely on assignment.
And then I say this too, because there's nothing special. And I say this very, very loosely, so I don't want y'all to crucify him. Nothing spectacular about the cross, because there's two other people that's going to the cross too. So the biggest difference between him and the other people, a couple of things. He taking on sin. That's a big difference. You taking on the sins of the world.
Of the whole
now
world.
Imagine the sinful stuff we do that make you feel guilty, stuff we didn't did.
Like, oh, Lord, forgive my son did that.
But he taking on the whole world sin. That's a big burden, because anybody can go to the cross. That was normal for the Roman soldiers to crucify you. That was their way of punishing. So that's normal, not to minimize, but that's normal. It's the weight of the sin of the world that he's taking on, and then the consequences for doing that is being separated from his Father.
Oh,
that's what he's agony about. That's what's in that cup. Like, it's the first time since its existence. I don't say a lifetime, because lifetime you can't adequately explain what he is. So he is the eternal God that desires to show himself to the people. So you can't use words like life and stuff, because life is not a thing to him. He's putting time in place so you can understand life. But it's the first time in eternity that he's separating to what he is a part of. The first time he'll ever be separated from it. Imagine that. That's why he yelling out, let thy sabbath to me. He's saying he never been a severed. My God, why hast thou forsaken me? Man, that's a whole different thing. Yeah,
the torment in his mind
but
alone.
It's to be forsaken but not forgotten, because he ain't forget about him. I just can't be around sin. And even if it's my own son that have it, even though I love you in that connection there, this is the first time in his time of existing that he won't be with the Father. That's the agony that he has. Yeah, that's a different feeling. And that's that abandonment that you got there. Like, I never knew existence without that.
Yeah.
And now I got to go through that because I'm taking on the sins of the world.
That's that lonely part.
Yeah. That's different for him. Yeah. And so different. Even in the midst of his suffering, this is how you know he's so committed. He's bringing a thief with him. Today you're going to be in prison. Man, I don't want to talk to you right now. Man, I don't want to talk to you, man. I'm suffering. You ain't going to make it. You know how people get petty when they get mad. Like, you ain't, because your friend over there talking, both of y'all ain't gonna make, you gonna burn today. We would have been, matter of fact, let them live a little bit longer so they can suffer. But I'm just saying, the heart he got, that even in the midst of his suffering, which he's the epitome of what leadership is, even in the midst of his own suffering, he's still offering salvation. That's crazy. Man. Yeah. Another sermon right there, we can preach the theology of a thief. We can go into that. Because listen, he ain't joined nobody church. He ain't part of no denomination. This will mess up everybody's theology. He ain't had to do none of that. He ain't speaking no unknown tongue, none of that. He went with him to paradise that day. He was saved for minutes. And then there we go. That's where we get the what they coined the term deathbed confession, where a person can acknowledge Christ and come into the knowledge of him even on his deathbed, because it'll be that theology of that thief on the cross, because he didn't have a chance to live out salvation. He just immediately got it.
I know that you guys will be like, now hold on, what this got to do with kingdom over everything, right? Because it sounds like we about to go into an Easter sermon, Easter
that's kingdom
Sunday
over everything.
Sermon. But I wanted to use Jesus because a lot of the times the feelings that he experienced, we experience those feelings. Sometimes we're separated from our friends and our family, and when we are in a place where we feel lonely, we feel alienated. Like, it's like, well, what's the point? You know, because you don't have the community or the connection or the companionship, right? But we also struggle with fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of the known. Sometimes knowing what is going to happen as a consequence of something that we did or failed to do. That is fearful within itself. Then the weight of knowing what your duty is or what your assignment is, right? That can be a lonely place, but it can also be a burdensome and heavy position to be in, knowing that Sunday after Sunday you have to get up and minister, whether it be through song or music or whatever your gift or your calling is, having to do it regardless of how people respond to you, regardless of how profitable or lack thereof that position that you're in is, regardless of how you feel when you're doing it, whether you're sick or what. When God speaks to you, when God gives you a vision or a plan, and you still got to work it, and it seems like nobody is grateful, nobody appreciates it, nobody acknowledges it, that's painful. It's lonely. And it can be troublesome for a lot of us, especially because the devil is coming in. Y'all already know battleground is your mind. He's coming because he want to confuse you. He want to frustrate you. He want to take your joy, your peace, everything. He wants to distract you from doing what you have been called, appointed, and assigned to do. And if he can just put a little fear in you, it ain't gonna work anyways. You might as well just stop because ain't nobody doing this. He gonna put it in your head. If he can get you to be like, child, I'm in this by myself. I don't know nobody do this but me. They don't recognize me. They don't see me. They don't even know that I be doing it. And I still got to do it. I'm sacrificing. I'm spending my money. Nobody else doing it. Yeah, because I think we've all been there. And even if we haven't said those exact words, we've felt that about something before. That's what the enemy does intentionally.
You won't be hearing me again.
Yeah, the enemy intentionally does that to separate you from the Father.
Yeah.
Because when you're separated from him, you're not hearing his voice.
Yeah.
You not. Now his hand is there, right? But we're not acknowledging it because we're not aware, because we separated ourselves from him.
Yeah.
So the enemy has done his job because he has gotten me in a place to where I'm not talking to my Father. And if he's talking to me, I don't hear him. So it's just like he's not talking to me. I'm not in his presence. I'm distracted. I'm not in his will. I'm not doing what he's called me to do. I may not be doing nothing bad. I may not be like engulfed in sin, right? But I'm not doing what I was called to do. And I'm operating and moving in my own will.
Yeah.
But in this season, we're learning to totally surrender to him.
Yeah.
So life can just be better.
That's that challenge right there.
That's the challenge.
And then you got to go through it. And I like at the beginning when you're saying acknowledging him and how he went through the same stuff that we go through. And that's why I say
he took it on.
We have not a high priest that cannot be touched by our infirmities. In other words, we don't have a God that can't identify with our problems.
You've said this. Yeah. Fully God.
Yeah.
But fully man.
Yeah.
And you took on humanity.
Yeah.
So that you can understand every pain, everything that I would ever gripe, fuss, complain about.
That's that divine truth.
Come on.
It's called hypostatic union. Big old word that say he was 100% God and he was 100% man at the same time. Meaning you can't take away to it. He created a cow, that's how my daddy say, but he still drank the milk. Let's get even deeper. He's Mary's father and Mary's son at the same time. He created Mary, but then Mary gave birth to him. That's a little too much.
Sometimes the preacher jump in the deep end that I don't be ready to jump into. You know?
He could walk on water or he could ride in boats. He did it both.
Now that was so much more better for me.
Yeah. He break the bread,
but I get what you're saying because he's all of our Father. Yeah.
So in it, but I say that's an old preacher saying it like that. But it's a concept, and it'll confuse your mind because what it is, once again, we're trying to box God in with our humanity and don't understand you're dealing with deity. Like it's two totally different things. But acknowledging, he's saying, I've been touched by it. So it's nothing that you could come to me. That's why he's our advocate. When he's standing at the throne, covering us with blood. So it's like, hey, man, they did this. Yeah, they did this, but covering blood because I experienced what they like to be tempted. That's why I say that Satan tempted. Just go here. When you say the garden, that's what we at. When he's in the garden, Satan come to tempt him the 40 days. What he tempted him, Satan didn't take him physically. He took him here. What we talking about earlier. When we talking about he took him in mind. Said took him to the high place. Show him I give you all this in the world. He didn't physically take God there. He did it in your mind. And just like he wrestled with his mind, that's why when you go through with your mind, you understand this the battleground of the mind. And if he challenged me in my mind, then I understand that's the place that I got to prepare myself. Because whatever penetrates your head, it'll produce in your heart. Whatever produces in your heart, you'll perform it in your hand. So that's why you got to guard your head. Guard your head and protect your heart at the same time. You'll have guarded hands. So my thing is in that, acknowledging that, like, man, if he went there and look what he challenged with. Because then you go into what the scripture say, I love all that's in the world. Lust of the flesh, pride of life. Come on now. Be in there. Yeah. He tells us all the stuff we got to worry about. So if that's the case, that's the only thing he can tell me with. And then once I know that, then I ain't got to worry about being challenged with that.
I think, and this is chasing a squirrel here for a moment, because as we have gotten older and we have found a different way to have Bible study with you and I, that, and I know the way we grew up, people did the best with what they had and what they knew. So I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be able to present it in a way that I wish I would have gotten it in. Because had I gotten it this way, definitely biblical principles, but the practical application part and what that looks like in my everyday life, and not that holy type stuff, because I was like, I don't know. It wasn't relevant to me. You know what I mean?
It ain't saying real.
But being able to make it relevant, being able to talk real life situations and scenarios and using biblical principles, I think it illuminates the text and the scriptures so much more. It gives us a better understanding. So it is my prayer that B.Y.O.B does that for you guys, that it illuminates the scriptures more, that it makes you want to study it more and understand it in a different way, a better way.
And then that's the connection. Like, I think it's supposed to be practical. He never told us to be what I say spooky spiritual or whatever like that. People want you to be practical, that you can come in. And they're always like, man, how do we do that? How do we get it? Well, the best way to get in people's pocket and connect the people and go is go where the people at. Like, if you notice him, Jesus right now be a social media influencer. People you might not want to hear like that. He wouldn't be trying to, he probably wouldn't be no pastor.
He gonna go where he can speak to the masses.
Man, 3 billion people. What I'm doing? Why are we traveling, people? Peter. No, I do not need your boat. I need your phone. Turn your phone on and like, share. Tell somebody you're Impact Church and work out. Because the thing is, it just almost to me like common sense. It's where the fish at. I got that from Mike Moore. Mike Moore like, man, only thing now is it's just a different pun. Yeah. So notice what Jesus went. He went there. People overlook. Oh, he preached at the mountaintop. He preached at the mountaintop. It's no PA system. Best way to preach to this 5,000 people is I get the mountaintop and my voice echoing off the side of the mountain. That's the PA. So you get everybody here. It's practical stuff like that we over spiritualize. Oh, he went to the mountain. You're not even putting.
Why did he go to the mountain?
Yeah. And I feel like that's what we lose people at, and that's what people want. People want a real, okay, that makes sense. That's logic. And I think what we do, we try to kick science out of the scripture. No, it's science in the scripture. That's why I argue somebody. They said something about the Big Bang Theory. You got to watch me because I will chase a squirrel. But they said something about the Big Bang Theory. I just tell Nathan that I agree with you. It was the Big Bang Theory. But the Big Bang was when he said, let that be. And it said, boom. That was him. That was his voice. For real. He said, let that be. And it was a boom. Because when he said, let that be, there go your bang. And I got signs for you. Because they said the boom was exhalation of sound. That sound, the exhalation of sound, meaning it get to a certain pitch to a point you see sound. And that's where you get light from. So when he said, let there be light, that sound that came from him, it got to the point that you were able to see it. That's the boom. Yeah. That's him. So I agree with you. It's just you trying to put God out of your sign. Nah, I say incorporate all of it. Just like I told you with the angels and aliens. We ain't got to go there, but I'm just saying.
Because this squirrels, you hunting.
Hey, we're going in. We hunting, but I'm just saying.
No, you're hunting.
We're hunting. We're in the car together today. We're in the car together. But the thing is, it's like we try to over spiritualize stuff or just downplay stuff, and then it don't practical. Then nobody want to believe because then it sounds superficial.
Yeah.
But if you incorporate that, like, okay, that makes sense. Okay, now throw that out. Everything in the scripture, you got dinosaurs, you got all this stuff. You ain't got no confusion on it. And then you can kind of start getting some of the questions. And then also, while you said practical with the B.Y.O.B, I feel like when the Bible quiet on some stuff, you might need to be quiet too. Like it don't unpack that. So stop trying to make it say that.
So all this is Bible.
So
if it ain't Bible, we ain't talking
we
about
getting the biblical word because somebody asked you, now it's not in there. Now we got to approach it different. Like I told you about dating. The Bible talk about the Middle Eastern culture. Women are just being approached, and then they part of a bargaining agreement, and then it's money, it's a diary, and all this other stuff. Well, we ain't doing that today. You can't sell no woman or put no. You go to jail. You go to jail for that.
Sex
Yeah, and that's what they call sex trafficking. You ain't gonna make it there.
Listen,
So with that being,
but
I'm saying, so it's back to what you're saying though. We saying if you could bring it to people in a practical way, person can take that from the table and I can use that. That's all we saying.
So okay, we halfway through, right? Because I chased a little squirrel, but then you went hunting. So I wanted to walk through Luke. So I have a couple of points that I wanted to make in Luke because this is where the scripture was. Luke chapter 22, verses 41 through 44.
Yes, sir.
Because like we just said, this is Bible. We're not just telling y'all at the top of our head what we think, what we want.
Read, Dooley.
I'm not about to read the scripture, Pastor. But I want to take what was happening in the scripture and take that and marry that with practical application. Like, what does that look like in real life? So, in Luke chapter 22, Jesus separated himself to pray.
Okay.
I wanted to pull that out because sometimes surrenders are too deep for crowds. Yeah. When you're trying to surrender, I can't be with my people all the time. I got to separate myself from my people because there's comfort there. There is familiarity there. And then sometimes your mission, they can't see it. Or your vision, they can't see it. So you have to separate yourselves. And that's what Jesus did. He separated himself so he could go pray. Y'all, if we are going to totally surrender our will to his will and do what God has called us to do, we have got to separate from the crowd because your surrender might be too deep for them. They may not understand it. They can't articulate it. They can't see it. They can't understand it. And it's not meant for them too. Yeah. It's only meant for you too, because your surrender, that's between you and him. That's your relationship. That's a part of your worship. That's a part of your obedience, not us obedience, not us worship. Right? Next, when he falls to his knees, when Jesus falls to his knees so he can pray, this lets me know that posture reveals desperation. When you are desperate to hear God's voice, to see his hand, to be in his presence, or just to make him happy, put a smile on his face, your posture begins to change. Now, I'm not telling you to go fall on your knees and lay prostrate. That's what you need to do.
Do that.
Do what you need to do to get into his presence so you can feel him, right? Yeah. But when I'm talking about your posture, we talked about this earlier when we first launched B.Y.O.B. We're talking about your heart posture right now, right? Jesus physically did it so that we can know what to do here in the 21st century.
Yeah, connect it.
Yeah.
And then I think it's an outward sign of what's going on spiritually. It's an outward sign of what's going on internally. He's getting on his knees. It's a sign of you surrendering. Like you said at the very beginning, that's totally surrender. Like I'm breaking before him, not standing up. I'm getting on my knees.
I'm broken, I'm open. I'm vulnerable. So I'm willing. I'm just here. I'm yours. Yeah. Right.
And that's when you get in a place with him. Like, hey, listen, I didn't surrender everything. I ain't holding nothing. That's not me standing on my own, coming before him. Then some people lay face down. Whatever it is, it's like you getting in that position. Your body is an outward sign of what's going on the inside. That I'm broken before you. I'm putting all out there. I'm laying face down. I'm giving it all to you. Whatever that is. And then once you find that, then I feel like that's how that atmosphere gets set. That's a outward sign of what's going on inside of you. He can minister and deal with it because you didn't put it out there.
This is the part right here, though. Because as we're going through Luke 22, when it says, and I started with this, and then it started kind of getting like Easter Sunday, Communion Sunday kind of thing going on. But we're talking about Jesus, and you really can't help it when you start talking about the man, right? What? But when he asks for the cup to pass him by. Yeah. Y'all, an honest prayer is still a holy prayer. Yeah. God, I know what I signed up for, but this too much. Yeah. That's too much. That's what we say sometimes. But he was honest and vulnerable. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, Father, I thought I knew, but I didn't, and I just don't.
Yeah.
If it's gonna separate me from you, now think if Jesus was like this, Lord, listen here, listen, Daddy.
Yeah.
If me carrying
Yeah.
the weight of the world, the sins of the world,
Yeah.
is gonna separate me from you, let them all perish.
Oh,
You done flooded before, anyways. I mean, let them, because I can't do this.
This ain't new, huh?
What if he would have said that?
Yeah.
What if Jesus would have done that? We wouldn't be right here right now.
See, the whole world would change, huh?
It would have changed the dynamics of everything. I believe that we would cease to be.
Yeah. I think
because I'm gonna tell you, y'all but thank the Lord for Jesus. Cause
you ain't coming
I would be like, oh, Daddy, I'm not leaving you. I'm staying right here with you. It's safe, it's holy, it's peaceful, it's beautiful, it's love, it's everything. Why would I leave? But he loved us.
He ain't helping nobody
so much. Come on, the angels here, we all singing holy, we all praising and blessing and worshiping. Why would I? I'm telling you, thank the Lord for Jesus.
I think what he said to us, though, they that come worship in spirit and truth. I believe he was teaching us how to be transparent, like, and to be
talk from your heart and keep it 100 with it,
and to be vulnerable. He like, man, you know how hard it is to be honest and vulnerable, like in this day and time, like you can't
everything.
Everybody got to be faking and shaking. I can't tell the truth
about everything.
And then, because if I do tell you the truth, then you're gonna judge me, or then you're gonna blame me, and then he out by himself, and that's sometimes what you got to do. But I think he was showing us, man, if you really want to get a breakthrough where you actually not your will, but his will be done, you gotta be transparent instead of that false sense, like, oh yeah, nah, I don't want this.
And this is the crazy thing. Yeah. And I don't think we think about it till after we have done something or failed to do something. We know that God knows all. He knows our thoughts. He knows our heart. He know all of this, right? So he know what you're thinking and how you feeling anyways. Yeah. But we have been groomed, so to say, to approach God this way. Yeah. Say it this way. Do it this way. Pray this way. Talk this way. And it's like, you get in the habit of doing it that way, but that way, it's nothing.
Yeah, ain't nothing to
it. It had no feeling, it had no emotion, it had no intentionality, it had no power, it had nothing. It was just words and performance.
That's it.
And at this stage in life, where we are, the times that we're living in, and y'all, when we were growing up, you would hear the old people say all the time, we in the last day, it's the end times, and we're still saying that last and evil days. But I'm telling you, it's getting worse and worse and worse, right? We even talk now, things that are happening now, we couldn't have fathomed those things when we were kids, right? Because people have lost their marbles. And some people, I don't even think they were born with them. They have lost their ever-loving mind. The devil got their mind real bad. But somebody, and we're trying to create disciples here so we can reach those that are lost. So somebody might come in contact with one of these people ain't got no marbles. And we're trying to give you some words so you can help them. Because these people crazy.
That's your words of wisdom.
Listen. It's real talk, man. You know these people crazy. Okay, now, nonetheless, Jesus ends with, even after he said, let this cup pass, and we said this earlier in the Easter section, communion service section here. He said, nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done.
Yeah.
So because we're going to have to separate ourselves from those that we're most familiar with sometimes so that we can get in his presence, hear his voice, and just commune with him. Because again, everybody not going to see the vision. Everybody not going to understand the path that you're on. But even in those times when we do that, sometimes because of the loneliness and the fear, we kind of just want to give up, throw in the towel, let it go, we want to be done with it. But we have to persevere anyways.
Yeah.
Show your children what resilience look like. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes you're going to fall, get back up again. Sometimes it's not going to make sense. Try again. Like, don't give up. Keep pushing, because I know what you said. I know what the purpose is. I know what my path is. I know what my destiny is. I know what my call is, and I want to honor you. I want to actively pursue with intentionality what you call me to do. So I'm going to keep pressing forward, even if I don't hear you clearly. Because maybe you're not, I'm not going to say you're not talking to me right now.
Yeah.
Maybe there's no word directly for me. Maybe my last word is the word for right now, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to keep moving based off of the last thing you told me.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep moving based off of the last thing that was revealed to me. Then heaven responds. This is what I like, because Jesus is like pleading with his daddy, and even with no response. All right, daddy. Okay,
Yeah.
not my will, yours. When he said, not my will, but yours, his dad was like, that's my boy right there. That's total surrender.
Yeah.
So then heaven respond. Heaven respond after the surrender.
Yeah.
How do you know heaven respond? Because it said an angel strengthens him.
Yeah.
That's heaven responding. He done got some strength, like you would say, that second wind.
Yes.
He got that second wind.
Yeah, no need for the angel to come until he changed his mind to do his will.
Once his daddy said, that's my boy right there.
Because I ain't got to send the angel if you don't want to do my will. Ain't no help for the person that ain't doing the will. But it help when
your help will come.
When you in the will.
It may not come when you want it, but it's on time. No. Okay.
Whatever.
Okay.
I didn't know
it was a moment. It was a moment, right? And I embraced the moment. Okay. Yeah. But his help came when he needed it most.
Yeah.
Because he's struggling with all these emotions, all these feelings, all this anguish in his mind. I mean, he's struggling, y'all.
Yeah.
But once he totally surrendered and was like, okay, I didn't ask, you ain't answered, but at the end of the day, it's not about what I want, it's about what you want. Yeah. When he did that, come on now.
Life changed.
I can see God. Hey, strengthen my son. Like a picture plays in my mind, like a little movie.
Sound like Mufasa, man.
Okay. So I have something called the Now Bible. And it's very animated, and it has like all these actors and actresses, and it has preachers and stuff, and they're reading all the scriptures, so it comes to life for you. And if I'm not mistaken, James Earl Jones was Jesus. So his voice is Jesus' voice in my head.
Automatically locked in already.
His voice is Jesus' voice in my head. It's really good. If you don't have a Now Bible, go find you one. It's really good. All right. The last thing that it talked about in the scriptures, or the last thing that I pulled out, was it says that when he was sweating, it was like drops of blood.
Yeah. And
I wanted to say this, that obedience may be spiritual, right?
Yeah.
Because obedience, it takes a spiritual person to move and operate and go and do based off of something that you saw in a vision. You heard from some other man or woman of God, or God has revealed it to you in some kind of way. It's not your daily job. So I don't see it in black and white. It's not something that I actively, tangibly touch, see, feel, right? This is all some spiritual stuff. He can't see what I see spiritually. I can't see what he sees spiritually, nor can we feel it. So to still operate in obedience, obedience is definitely spiritual, honey. But the struggle is real. It's a struggle to be obedient when I can't see it. Yeah. It's a struggle to be obedient when I can't feel it. I can't hear it. Nobody else sees it, hear it, feel it. Now I'm struggling in my mind again because I know I heard it. I'm not going crazy. So it's the struggle is real. Why did I bring that up? Because as we surrender our will to him, as we do what he has called us to do and commissioned for us to do, the struggle is going to be real, y'all. It's going to seem like your friends not your friends no more. It's going to seem like your family acting crazy. It might seem like you crazy a little bit. Did I hear what I thought I heard?
A little bit.
Like the struggle is going to be real, but you have to be the spiritual being that you are and operate in obedience, which is the truest form of worship. I'm going to obey what I heard the Spirit say, what God has revealed to me, whether it was through a dream, through a man or woman of God, whether I felt a conviction when I heard a song, whether I was laying in prayer and, oh, something just came to me and fell in my spirit, and then I was writing it down or whatnot. Then I just found myself working in this thing. However it is, he reveals it to you. It's going to come with some obstacles.
Yeah.
The greatest testimonies obviously come from the test that we've experienced in life. And when you share those test results, people listen because, oh, they took that test for real.
Test become a testimony.
Hello.
Your testimony will eventually become a trophy about how good God is. Come on now.
You on like trophies today.
When you said that about the test, though, basically what I said earlier, because I didn't finish, I said all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh. That's what I missed last time.
Oh, because you had a
pride of the eye. And then
it was the
nah.
I can't remember.
No, I just had it. You just when you
said I messed it up.
Said, nah,
I'm sorry.
It's lust of the flesh. You can maybe look it up. Lust of the flesh, pride of and now I gotta look it up.
I'm telling you, because I'm gone too. But while he's looking that up, let's talk about when Jesus said, "Nevertheless, not my will, but yours." Because I wanted to let y'all know that there is glory in the nevertheless.
Talk to her, nevertheless.
Because that nevertheless is when the total surrender came to be, or that's the exact moment that total surrender was manifested. That's the exact moment that the heavens, I'm gonna say, open for him, when his strength came. When like his daddy heard what he was saying. It's like, you know, like it's when you're talking to a person and I hear you, but I'm not listening. So his daddy heard him. Oh, but when he said, nevertheless, not my will, but yours. Honey, that's when his daddy was listening, and he sent some help for him, because in that moment, that word itself suggests that regardless of what happens, don't happen, whether you talk to me or not, I'm still going to do what you told me to do the first time, regardless. I'm still going to do what you told me to do. In that exact moment, the glory came.
Try to get in.
How we know the glory came? He got his strength. He got his second wind.
Because he overcame temptation. Because all that is in the world. That's John. Because I mixed up 1 John 2:16. Because I know, and then I mixed it up both times. So it's the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eye, and then I reversed it last time, and it's the pride of life. Because last time I said the lust of the eye.
I should have got pride of life. Talking about Mufasa.
But I said pride of life the first time, and then I forgot the lust of the flesh. So lust of the flesh, lust of the eye, and pride of life. Those are all that's in the world. And so every temptation is falling underneath that. So everything he tempted Jesus with, man should not live by bread alone, by every word of truth. Then he took him to the highest mountain and showed him everything I give it. So he's giving us the tricks of the enemy, and he's showing us how to overcome them through the word, because he's challenging the enemy back with the word, so he can't walk into that victory. He was transparent. He acknowledged where he was. You talked about his physical posture. Then let's talk about what was spiritually, but then where he was mentally. Because he battling, he is wrestling. That's why he let that out. Hey, can this cup? And the thing is him being human. It's him being, hey, that's what I'm feeling at the moment. But knowing he in a place of prayer where he can be transparent. And that's what prayer should be. It should be a transparent dialogue between you and your Father. Because if I'm going to tell anybody, I'm telling him.
Come on now.
Yeah, if I'm going to share with anybody.
He know it anyway, so I'm just going to audibly share with him.
Hey, and I need to get this off me anyway.
Come on.
I can't wait to get in that prayer.
It's now so much release when you let that thing out.
Yeah, instead of you carrying.
Burden off.
You carrying all your load yourself. And that's why I said, cast your cares upon me for our cares. And then if you know that, then it'll change your, when I go to prayer, I can unload. Like I can give him the real. Give him the real you. And I think that's what required. He requires us to do that, and I think that'll transition. So I always felt comfortable with that. I feel like if a person know that, because we say the enemy and the wiles of the enemy is the attack of the devil, but I think if a person know it, that's all he brings to the table. If I can kind of prepare myself, guard myself for that, I can hit him with counterpunches, so I can move properly, because I know that's what he using to get it.
So before we run out of time,
come on now.
I wanted to share, because life in the 21st century is like
a little different.
It is. People don't want to do nothing for nothing.
Mm.
You know, I don't work for free. I ain't doing nothing for nothing, right? Hopefully we're not that way when it comes to our spiritual being.
Yeah.
Hopefully you just surrender your worship and submit your will to him
Yeah.
and all of this stuff. But for those who struggle with that,
Yeah.
I want to tell you there are some benefits
Talk to us.
in surrender,
Yeah.
right? When Jesus humbled himself,
Yeah.
that was a choice.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna have to make a choice.
Yeah.
Or are you gonna choose to do what you have been commissioned to do, or what
Yeah.
you want to do, or are you gonna let it go?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. The choice is the ball is in your court. You have to figure out what choice you're gonna make, right?
Yeah.
Then he became obedient unto death.
Yeah.
So if you choose the right side, there's gonna be some obedience that you're gonna have to operate in, right?
Yeah.
That's gonna cost you something.
You got to.
Because when you are walking in obedience, again, your relationships gonna change, your money might change, your situation might change, life in itself might change.
Yeah.
But will you still trust me enough to obey me?
Yeah.
Sometimes that's a part of your test. I don't know. I can't speak on everybody's test. I can only speak about mine, right? But just know that there's going to be some cost there.
Yeah.
You make a choice, there's going to be cost.
Yeah.
Now, this is how we typically say it, especially in the school sector. For every for every action, there's a consequence. Now, we like to say that that's bad, but there are good consequences as well.
Yeah.
So you make a choice, and then whatever your consequence is, whether good or bad,
you don't have to deal with it.
Deal with that, right?
Yeah.
So when we exalt God, then we have the reward.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm choosing. Remember, the first thing we have to do is make a choice. I'm choosing to do kingdom. I'm choosing to honor him. I'm choosing the spirituality over the humanity, right? When we do that, there's reward in that. How do we know? And I forgot to type that scripture this time. But if you seek him first,
and Matthew
and his righteousness,
33.
then all of these things will be added.
Yeah, you ain't know.
Come on, man.
Seek ye first the kingdom.
Now I probably heard this growing up. Probably read and saw when we had to do the Sunday school review and all of that.
Yeah, I had you memorized.
You had me what?
Mesmerized.
Oh, he had me so mesmerized. I was infatuated.
That's what it is.
But had I been infatuated with this,
life would have been a little better.
I would have been in that car with no heat, no air, you know. We would have been rolling or something. I don't know. But that's us clowning. Seriously. But had I known it or understood it, had I understood it the way that I see and understand it now, I would have made some different choices.
Yeah, but you had to break it down too. What is the kingdom? Is that going to church?
Kingdom is
going
not
to church, that me participating in every service.
No, kingdom is not going to, like you said, the facility.
Okay.
Because again,
how I seek the kingdom then? What is the kingdom?
You just need to be seeking his will.
Okay. Like
his
Jesus.
will.
His will.
His will. He said, not my will, but your will. His will. And his will is kingdom. And everything else in life should be aligning to that. And when it don't, when we stray off, what that man name? Donald McClurkin said, oh, get back up again. So get back up again, get back in line again, and focus on his will. And every time you will to do something different, be like, you know what? Not today, not my will, but your will. Because his will is kingdom.
You're in the will. That's it.
Yeah.
Man, that's it. You get distracted real easy outside of that because there's so many other things put around it that you can get caught up in religion and lose relationship.
Oh, yeah. You really can.
Dangerous. Yeah, that's dangerous. And I think that's what he proven here. Like, sometimes break away from everybody. He got alone so he can get clarity on the will. Like, I don't want to do it, but since it is your will, not my will, because my will don't want to do this.
Exactly.
But then when you get in there, that's why I said we don't preach and teach it like that, because you're trying to encourage everybody to come and join. But he says crazy stuff like, take up your cross and follow me. He talk about those that suffer with me will reign with me. He telling you all the time, this it's not what you think it is. Like the way we present
Are you sure you about that life?
we present it like it's all luxury, nice car, nice home, living with Christ. Like, man, he introduced some brutality when it comes to the gospel. Like, that don't sound good. Take up your cross and follow me. Where we going?
Well,
Why I
maybe
gotta
let's
get
not lead with that.
And then he don't even say come share the cross. It'd be different. Like, help me tow my cross.
Yeah, take up yours and follow me.
All of us got one. How many crosses is it, sir? We said all of us have something that we have to carry, and that's the will that he had designed. All of us have our own cross. That means all of us have our own will, our own assignment that we supposed to be carrying. And then while we carry our own assignment, you want me to follow you? It's hard enough to carry.
Why you carry? Because you know when you carrying a heavy load, sometimes you
Man,
tend to look down because
you're
trying to it's
you don't
like
want
you're
to
trying
be
to drag
bothered
it or
though.
whatnot.
Yeah.
But if you following somebody, you got to look up so you can see them, right?
Yeah, and then you talking about, I remember ruck marching in the military. You got to keep the pace of the person in front of you. So if you follow somebody,
I got to keep your pace. See what way you going.
Got to stay at pace. Then
you got to keep your eyes on the prize, baby.
Ooh, and what I said when we was we just did the little trip. What he said, everybody should have the dust particles.
Dust particles.
Dust particles.
Dust particles of the person in front of you should be on you because you're following that closely.
I mean, I'm so close to him that I'm catching everything that he's stepping into. You know, and he's stepping off, it should be hitting me. That's how close I should be to him. So it just shows that you know, you're saying it should crystallize as it relates to what it is that you believe. Man, walk through it, but it's understanding us once we take up our cross to follow him. In that process, a good disciple should have those dust particles of what they follow. And that's what he required us to do. When you talk about that in the text, that total surrender life, that requires me to be in that posture. And we said that earlier today about servanthood and having the spirit to serve. That's not nothing glamorous. Because now we ain't talking about titles and platforms. We talking about titles and we talking about your posture. That ain't, you ain't selling that on no resume. Now. What? Service? What do you mean? Behind the
Be
scenes?
served.
Yeah, so everybody want to be served, Paul, but they don't want to serve. And that's what he's requiring when you talking about totally surrender. That's me submitting to his will. Submit yourself before the mighty hand of God. And then he going to do the result.
All right, y'all. We are out of time, but not out of message. So I want to leave you with three.
Mean it's not out of message.
3 dots to connect. When we advance the kingdom, well, I'm going to say it this way. We advance the kingdom through obedience, not comfort, because it's definitely not going to be comfortable. So what I want us to do is remember the story of Jesus, right? How Gethsemane led to Calvary. And then Calvary ultimately led to the resurrection. And the resurrection has led to salvation. So you never know what your obedience is ultimately going to provide for the people connected to you, for the people that are watching you, for the people that are learning from you from a distance. Let your life, your example, and your work be like Jesus was. How Gethsemane led to Calvary, and Calvary led to the resurrection, and resurrection to salvation. Let your life lead it be leading somewhere for somebody, right? So, guys, make sure that all this week, this is your challenge, because I haven't done a challenge in a while. Make sure that all this week, every day you get up, you say, Lord, I surrender. And not out of habit, not because I'm asking you to, but surrender your will to him and make sure you're walking in obedience. Intentionally do that every day this week and see what changes for you. We want to tell you guys, thank you for tuning in, joining in with us. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for the seeds. Thank you for the support. Y'all know that on 5th Sunday, we are on Field Trip Sunday. We're out in the community every 5th Sunday doing something to better our community and let people know that the church is still relevant.
Come on now.
The church is here. The church is here to help, to build, and to uplift. But we need your help to do that. You can't physically be here. You have to work. You stay out of state, whatever. Your seed can be here. We're asking if you could help sow. Make a donation. You can do so by way of Cash App. I Can 365, that's Impact Community Action Network, 365 days out of the year. You can also give by Givelify. Go look for Impact Church DFW. You'll see a picture of myself and my husband. And continue to support, guys. Spread the word. Like this video. Share this video. We hope that it was a blessing to you because it has been a blessing to us. Guys, until next time, grace and peace.
Grace and peace, we in there, baby.